show.
Just look at that. We just made a big decision right there.
That was a big decision.
Right off the cups. We're starting early as our new cold open because Ray and I have been chatting. I came early, and which is unlike me because I don't like wasted content, and we've been sitting here wasting content.
That was a mother joke right there. That was a mother joke. Come on, especially then when he said he came early. Then when it was unlike him, I'm like, this is too good. He must come early all the time. I didn't know what to do with it. It was just such a layered sex joke.
Yeah, your mother's never said she didn't know what to do with it. It's generally because her mouth's full. The thing about that is the wasted part. Pulling back the fourth wall here, we've invested a little bit into the podcast, so I'm taking it a little more seriously. So I showed up a little early.
7 minutes early.
So I showed up 7 minutes early. So, but when I came on, I didn't have a hat on.
Now we know what his time's worth, the exact amount.
Every time I do that, I regret it. So I told Ray that really my only economic goal from this podcast is to get hair plugs. That's it. That's the only. Once that happens, I'm out. Once that happens, I'm out.
Can't wait for that meeting on Monday.
Yeah.
What's your goal, guys? Hair plugs.
So here's the deal. We've come up with a goal.
We need hair plugs and a lifetime of Viagra for Dr. Big Mac. And a bunch of fucking weights.
Like, we could. I think we can do. He's like, I think we can do that in one sponsor.
Yep.
Hims.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
I'll take it.
There's their first fucking sponsor.
Sounds right up our alley, actually.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hims, it's 8:00. Perfect. We've just figured out a new way to start the show. Maybe we can actually do it in time now. Let's start the show, the Simple Mind Sports Show, where we talk Boston sports and hair plugs and dildos and stuff. Let's start with some opening takes as we always do. Ray, you're under suspension because you can consistently steal takes, so you have to go first. Please start us off with your opening take.
Thank you, Richard. There's a mutiny about to happen in Gillette, and I am all for it because this lackluster performance on the field. Let me give you a little reality boost. Let me see some fucking drama. Let me see some in-house fighting. I'm all for it. Apparently, Alex Van Pelt and Gerard Mayo hate each other. They don't even speak to each other because they're not on the same page. I'm for it because, like I said, the play on the field sucks. So give me some little drama in the locker room. Sign me up.
A lackluster take from a very serious allegation and report that we're getting from down in Foxborough. I expect nothing less from the bottom of the totem pole of dumb. So allow me to piggyback on that and then extend it a little bit into what we're going to be talking on the show. Drake May is going to come sooner or later, not because he's ready, not because he's going to make the team better. Drake May is going to be the locker room savior. That's my newest and boldest prediction. They're going to have to fall back on Drake May with a lot of repercussions because of that. It's just sad to see, Raymond. We're not happy to be here. I'm not happy to have it. It's sad to see. It's a bad thing. These things generally do not work out. So they're going to have to make drastic decisions for drastic times. Speaking of drastic times, the NBA and the Eastern Conference are in draconian times trying to keep up with the Celtics. The latest move being one, Karl Anthony Towns being traded to the Knicks. We're going to talk about that and Bobby Marks, ESPN Bobby Marks. First time I've heard that name, and I'm not a big
ESPN his take,
guy.
He's a fucking idiot. That's why.
Fair enough. His take was the Knicks have the best starting five in the NBA on paper. And I get everybody's job in the media now is to get clicks and headlines. And he certainly got it with this one, but he can't be fucking serious about it. Even with Karl Anthony Towns. Bobby, I know you were high on the Knicks last year and the way they played. Even still, on paper, Jesus Christ, the Celtics blow people away. The disrespect or just the, complete I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but the ignoring the Celtics and how good they are and were last year is, maybe not a fever pitch, but it feels like it's getting there, especially after a championship run. So we've got some Celtics talk. Top 5 segment tonight, boys. Celtics' biggest competitors in the East. Bobby, your opening take.
Well, speaking of dumb takes, I miss Mac Jones. Who took me my Mac Jones? I want my Mac Jones back. I never said I didn't want Mac Jones. Give me my Mac Jones. We lost Jacoby Brissett. We could have had Mac Jones. We'll show you how it all lined up, how he was 4 years. We ran that guy out of town. Just think about how fun it could have been watching Mac Jones get completely obliterated behind that line. We would be having barrels of laughs, but instead, it's just sad watching Jacoby Brissett get pummeled.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting take. The way that we're watching it now versus what it would be like with Mac Jones. I got a different reasons for wanting Mac Jones, and I can replace Mac Jones with basically any other sad, depressing quarterback that I'd like to have backing up Jacoby Brissett. But we'll certainly talking about that. Flirting with disaster. That's what the Patriots are doing right now, heading into Week 5 against Miami. Wouldn't you know it? Vibes can't catch, vibes can't throw, vibes can't tackle. So we'll be talking Patriots. We'll be picking up the Pat scraps from last week, and talking about a little bit about Miami moving forward. We got 10 questions from around the NFL and beyond with Chief Bobby. Swayman's a dink, and the Red Sox are full of shit. That's what we call our fucking right on the nose segment. That's where Bobby takes a nap. Top 5, the Celtics' biggest threats in the East, and of course, a doozy of the simplest minds of the week. Welcome to the Sim Mind Sports Show. Friday rerun October 4th, live Thursday night, October 3rd. Welcome to the show. The Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
Vacation. I'm gonna quay all these. I'm gonna fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E. You idiot.
There you have it. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Devilishly handsome tonight. Please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, where we are the #1 New England sports radio show, self-proclaimed on iTunes. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, thank you. Also, hit subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends, and as always, tell your mothers. Flirting with disaster here, boys. Bobby, you kind of hinted on it on our Monday Patriots recap show. If they don't win here against Miami, things could get real ugly real quick. Seems like it already has. We've got a
Who would have thought
here.
The drama that would come from this team.
And so quickly.
Yeah.
Generally, you get a little bit more of a leeway period when you transition to a new coach, especially you would think from 24 years. There would be a little bit more leeway, but I think it speaks to the broader dysfunction of the organization and the way that they went about their transition here, in trying to, put together these forced marriages across the ball, across the organization, which we can certainly get into. But just to give you a little bit of on the ground reporting here, this one's from Evan Lazar. Quote, right now, they are teetering on a mutiny in that locker room. Of course, speaking about the Patriots. And then let's just start the show off with Greg Bedard on NBC Sports Tonight talking about the very same thing.
We knew coming in that they had below average talent, at best. I think they had below average talent. But, with proper coaching, you figured that they would be coached up a little bit and have the potential to be a little bit better than their talent. That is decidedly not happening on both sides of the ball. It's not just the offense, it's also the defense. There are all sorts of things going on that are going wrong. The amount of blown edges that I thought was a lot last week or the end of Seattle on defense was even more. It was double, triple in this game. You have Devon Godchow going on radio talking about how some of the players are playing selfish. You have wide receivers in Pop Douglas and Jalen Polk who are throwing temper tantrums after plays. Like, to me, and I'm just telling you what I see on film, I see a team that's unraveling.
There you go. Actually, unbeknownst, little known fact here, blown edges is what Ray's mom calls her fantasy football team. So that's actually a little silver lining.
You can't use a private chat to fucking do that, you son of a bitch.
You just ruined the sanctity of the private chat. You son of a bitch. Unbelievable. Yep.
I swear to God, I didn't see that. I swear to God.
Oh, bullshit.
I did. I wrote it down.
lie.
I actually wrote the joke down on a notepad like a fucking, like an old person. It's very far away from me. Your mother blows edges, Bedard. All right. So you made the joke at Bedard from a clip. He's not here, you idiot.
Yeah, but it's still funny. But you stole it.
Mine was more creative and funnier, and the timing was better. I did blow the sanctity of the chat, which I don't pay attention to. You know I don't pay attention to the fucking chat. Anyway, there you have it. The God Show got clips early in the week. Pop Douglas did come out, by the way. I did read an article today that he was like overly apologetic about his pussyfooting and stamping around and being a little bitch. So take that for what it's worth, but there's certainly frustration out there that you're seeing on the field. Gerard Mayo came out right after the game, said, our biggest problem is communication on the offense and the defense, basically across the field, unless your name's Joey Sly, or the punting unit.
He did give props to the special team, saying that he was not fucking up out there, pretty much. So that was nice to hear.
Fucking better of. Yeah. Wouldn't you know it? And I wrote a blog today or this week on how we made fun with the reason why we call Gerard Mayo Coach Vibes, because his first 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 initial press conferences was all about the vibes. The reports, quotes out of camp. The vibes are different. The vibes are changing. Gerard Mayo's just got a vibe about him. It all starts in the locker room. We got to teach these guys how to be good men before they're good football players. We got to gain their respect before we bash them hard. Well, that's out the fucking window when you suck. When you do not put players in positions to compete and succeed, your vibes go out the window. And and I'll throw it over to you, Bobby. But I think the best thing I read out of this, they got back from San Francisco about 1:00 in the morning on Sunday. Mayo had them running sprints, running suicides Monday morning, whenever their morning session started, 10, 11 a.m., which is rare, in this day and age for Gen Z football players. And dare I say, it can't. Am I? If you're making me pick a side, I'm picking Mayo's side right now, which we'll get into the dysfunction in the locker room. But just your overall vibe, Bobby, on. I didn't mean to do that either. Your overall vibe as we sit here on the verge of mutiny and possible disaster with the Miami.
There's so much to unpack from this week. We'll start with Godshaw's comments. If you actually listen to it, he isn't ranting. He's very kind of composed as he speaks about it. Really he's talking about the defense. I didn't get the impression that he still thinks that they're a bad team. He thinks that they could compete if the team was more disciplined. That's kind of what I took from that players are kind of just off doing their own thing. We don't know who it was. It's Uche Keon White. That's kind of who he's been talking about. And this whole thing with Alex Van Pelt and the offense and how there's this tension amongst the team. I'm going to take a look at it from a positive view, obviously, because I'm hoping for some good news from this team, is that the team, the actual players, think that they can compete. They think that they're good, and they're trying everything that they can, a la 2 years ago with Matt Patricia again, to try and get themselves in position to compete again, because right now that's just not happening with the way the current setup. And I don't know who to blame. Sometimes when Mayos talks, I don't mind the things in the actions that he says sometimes.
Raven?
It's either Elliott Wolf or Kraft, because obviously this is the marriage that Rich was talking about, that these guys were just put together without any formal, Mayo, what kind of scheme would you want to run, whatever. Elliott Wolf just went out and got Alex Van Pelt or Robert Kraft because he's cheap. There's reports that you're not paying for his contract from Cleveland because he got fired from Cleveland, so Cleveland's paying for it. But I guess those reports are getting disputed or whatever. But, I mean, clearly, before the season even started, Gerard Mayo came out and said, we don't have a clear-cut starter yet. We don't know who our number one is going to be. And then Alex Van Pelt said it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett's a quarterback. He knows the system, blah, blah, blah. So they were already not on the same page when the season started. And now it's just getting even worse. So I think it's going to come to a head. And I think Alex Van Pelt's going to be the odd man out that's going to get fired. And hopefully everything changes.
Yeah, I mean, that may be the ultimate conclusion and maybe the ultimate choice. I texted you guys today. If they have an outing against Miami with Jacoby Brissett behind center that is similar to what they saw against the Jets and the 49ers, and you have an offensive team where wide receivers are not happy with the routes being run, you have the Greg Bedards and the NFL no offense, Bobby, pros down there who watch the all 22, looking at these
ball knowers. We call them ball knowers.
Ball knowers, yeah, ball numbers. The running the schemes, and there's just nothing creative. There's no attention to detail. They got a Caden Wallace on a play as an extra tackle where they should have had a tight end out there as a decoy. They've got a play action pass that is a consistent play action pass in all West Coast offenses that split the wide receivers out so you can have a high-low crossing route. Alex Van Pelt has both wide receivers on the same side of the field running out patterns that just don't make sense. If you read these articles from the football people, they're all saying the same thing, that Van Pelt's offense is just, not only is it not effective, it doesn't make sense. They're not running the right plays at the right times or sometimes ever. So if that's the case, yeah, man, like cut bait and move on to the next one, because the last thing you want is this ruin a quarterback 101 that we saw with Mac Jones. Every different year, it's a different coordinator. If you got someone on the staff on offense that can pick up and maybe implement some type of new offensive system, go for it. But let's not put the cart before the horse. We're still here in week 5, and that hasn't happened yet. So just to back up to where we are now in this week and the dysfunction that's going on, it's certainly anytime you have dysfunction in an organization, especially in professional sports, it comes directly from the top. And depending on how bad it is depending on how high it is. And right now, you can definitely call it Kraft's fault. You could certainly call it Kraft's fault. But I'm not going to go that high just yet because they have a chance to figure it out. Right now, it's Elliot Wolf's fault. And the fact that he went out and hired Alex Van Pelt as the 12th choice that they had for offensive coordinator. And if you want to bring Kraft back in here because he wouldn't pay
I
Nick
think
Caley,
we do want to bring Kraft back in here. He wasn't their first choice because their first choice wouldn't accept. They didn't want to pay their first choice.
Well, if you believe Albert Breer, his report this week was Nick Caley was offered $3 million for the offensive coordinator job, or somewhere around what would have made him the highest offensive coordinator in the league. It seems like a convenient report to come out
after
now.
Yeah,
does seem convenient.
He wouldn't have been because the guy from
the standard. Let's go ahead, Raymond.
The guy from the Lions,
Ben Johnson.
He's the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league at like $5 million. So that was already like debunked pretty much that even if it was $3 million, he wasn't going to be the highest paid. So that he had to go higher, and I don't think the Patriots were willing to.
Yeah. So all right. So we're in the weeds a little bit. Let's bring this in and try and bring it back so we can get to the Patriot scraps. Here's my 10,000-foot view dialed in a little bit. There's clearly a discord between Gerard Mayo and Alex Van Pelt. If what the who's the Patriots? Phil Perry. Phil Perry says that they're on the same page. Doesn't feel like it. Certainly doesn't sound like it in the media. If they can't get that figured out, then there's going to be a schism all year. Then everything we're talking about is on the table. If at least they can get something figured out and on the field they look closer to week 1 and week 2, I'm a little bit more interested in talking about that shit. Obviously, we had David Andrews go down. It's going to be a big, loss for them. But what do they look like against Miami, against the team that is reeling, looks like it's quit? This is the biggest test. And if they come out this week and they look anything close to what they look like against the Jets of the 49ers, I'm going to turn on the Drake May. I'm going to turn on the Drake May channel right now, not because I want it, not because I think the Patriots want it, but because I think what we started the show with, that locker room is on the verge of fucking collapse, and the break glass in case of emergency is Drake May, because he will make them more exciting. He will make them more competitive. They may ruin them in the process. But if the alternative is a complete lost season because your locker room just quits on you, then you break glass.
But would you rather a lost season or would you rather ruin Drake May?
I think both are possible if you lose the locker room. If you lose the locker room, all things are off. I mean, Drake May's season is lost as well. No one gives a fuck. They're all just throwing it.
You can't lose the locker room in your first year as a coach. That's literally Josh McDaniels stuff. That happened last year with the Raiders. Okay, Gerard Mayer was supposed to be the locker room guy. He didn't have the acumen, the football. He's not going to be some wizard like Belichick because he hasn't had the experience. So he was supposed to be the one to get the buy-in. And right now he doesn't have that. So if he loses the locker room in his first season, complete and utter failure.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. I'm leaning on Mayo here. If we're team AVP and Mayo, if it comes down to it, Kraft's got to intervene, give Mayo the keys. It feels like AVP is calling all the shots on offense, and Mayo is trying to dig and get power there. And if the offense continues to suck, then you got to give Mayo the keys. And
but why doesn't he? He's the head coach. Why isn't he able to do that now?
That's not how the NFL works these days. Look at the teams.
I understand that. I'm just saying, but I mean, you're the head coach. You should be able. You're overseeing the whole picture, your whole team, because you are the head coach. Why can't you just stop in the middle and say, "Hey, listen, your shit ain't working. This is what I want you to run. Here's 10 plays. Here's the first series. If this works, then we're going to continue doing this, and this is how we're going to go from here."
Well, to Bobby's point, he might not have the acumen to actually do that, and to our greater point, I don't think he's been given the power to do that via Elliot Wolf, via Robert Kraft, or Jonathan Kraft, or Robin Glazer, whoever is, calling.
So this fuck is just here because he's the scapegoat. He's just there, just being the big dummy, saying, "Hey."
You talking Alex Van Pelt?
No, I'm talking fucking Mayo. Like, if he doesn't have the power to do anything, then he's just a big dummy sitting there as a head coach and not knowing what the fuck he's doing. And that's just because Robert Kraft wanted to get Bill Belichick out of here. So now he has this guy being what? Like a...
No, look, and I don't want to get in the weeds. Bobby, I'm sure you have your thoughts. Here's what I can envision what Kraft thought. Mayo is inexperienced. They wanted him one more year under Belichick. They always thought that they were going to bring in an offensive mind to help him on that side of the ball because he's inexperienced there. They went through 1 through 11 of their first choices on offense. Either wouldn't pay him or they wouldn't come, and then they had to settle for Alex Van Pelt. So they're left with their 12th choice, but they still don't. The agreement kind of was, Mayo, you're not there yet, certainly offensively, to control that side of the ball. So this guy's going to control the offense, you control the defense, and have a broader view of the organization, except on offense over here, you're less involved. That was their plan. And right now, because Elliot Wolf did not give his team any offensive support, he didn't weaponize that shit, at all, you have what you have on offense. And Mayo is up there every week and has to answer for it. And he probably has his own opinions and thoughts, and they have not they have not given him the power to put those thoughts and strategies forward. Right. And maybe I'm wrong here, but that's just what it feels like. And if things continue to go the same direction, what I think should happen, and what I think might happen, is Mayo gets those keys. He gets the offensive door opened a little bit, and he gets to make that call. And that first call is going to be fucking Drake May. So
yeah, it's the only logical conclusion. If Kraft has anointed Mayo, you have to empower him.
Yeah, I didn't see any of those comments. Were any of them good?
No, yeah. Actually, they were good. Kraft thinks Mayo is a pushover. Kraft gets a new head coach that he thinks he can bulldoze, which pretty much me and Patrick are on the same page, which makes me sick to my stomach. And then Handsome Wayne says Mayo was a familiar face in New England. It was a fucking PR move.
I don't know if it was much as a PR move as Kraft falls back on his decision to bring Belichick in as the greatest strategic move in NFL history. He truly believes that. And we were probably too young to remember it at the time, but the reports on that move was like, what are you doing? They gave him a first-round pick for this defensive coordinator that no one's really ever heard of. And, he got crushed for that. In their first year, they had 5 wins. He got crushed again for it. So, and now he's 30 years older, in his 80s, and probably has lost a little step mentally, if we're being honest, and doesn't give a fuck, has gained the doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
tenet of that, and is like, you know what? I did it once. I'm doing it again.
You don't have to be 80 to have that.
True that. This guy's got leadership skills. I've seen him in action. This is our guy. This is the guy I want running my organization. I believe in his morals. I believe in his leadership. I believe in what he has to say. Blah 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 blah. He's our guy, and I'm kind of okay with that, but the results are what they are. So there you have it. A big test this Sunday on the broader spectrum of New England Patriots football. Never mind the field. If this season's lost, it could be lost on Sunday against the Dolphins. Here, let's do this quick because we're late in this segment. But Pat Scraps, Bobby got us some good stuff, and I got some statistics for you. Just again, we mentioned David Andrews done, captain, center, done for the year, shoulder surgery, potential retirement. Initially, I thought, man, that, at one point in the show, I think we said he's the most important player on the team. Yep. But their offensive line was pretty fucking bad with him, and they were just as bad, if not maybe a little better, without him in half a game. So I don't know. Did he lose his step? Was he playing injured? I don't know. I guess.
Well, AVP's running the offense, so I mean, if we're going by what AVP's been doing, I mean, that's probably why he's been looking so bad, and that offensive lines look so bad.
Yeah, I think he had physically lost a step. A lot of pressure up the middle. Like your mother's ass.
Boom, there you go. Tinfoil hat time here, boys. Tell me what you think of this. Team captain's going down. This could be a tank conspiracy theory. This could be whatever you want to take it. But
the tank conspiracy theory would be keeping Brissett in.
There you go. But Juwan Bentley, captain, down for the season. Right after that, Duggar picks up his captain title. He goes out. And you got David Andrews, captain. He goes down. Hunter Henry, Peppers, watch it back.
Annoyed Jacoby Brissett as captain now.
There it is. I think he is a captain. Here's a little depressing thoughts here for you. Patriots offense by the numbers, 955 total yards. That's last in the league. 449 passing yards. That's last in the league. 558 receiving yards. That's last in the league. 59 total first downs. Miraculously, that's 27th in the league. And their number one skill set, running the ball, 506 total rushing yards. That's 12th in the league. The past 2 weeks, they are again last in the league. Jacoby Brissett in that time has 536 yards through 4 games. That's good enough for 135 yards a game. He's been sacked 15 times for a total loss of 96 yards, which gives him a net passing yards per game of 110 yards, which I didn't look this up, but I'm going to guess is last. Actually, Bo Nix might be last. He's 31st in the league in that.
He's got 2 wins though.
He does that. And then thank you, Chief Bobby, for this. Mac Jones through 4 first games last year had 898 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Suck it, Brissett. Mac was better than Jacoby. Bobby asked, should they just kept Mac? Screw everyone's feelings. How awesome would it have been to watch him get obliterated behind this line? We could have laughed and laughed and laughed.
Remember when he twisted his ankle and he got to get pulled off by 2 guys crying? They would literally be scraping him off the turf.
He had a ankle sprain and he came back in 3 weeks. You son of a bitch! That was
Mahomes did it and he came back the next week. He's a goddamn Mac Jones is a pussy. God damn, he's a pussy.
He is a whiny little cunt.
And then that's what started the whole Zap Daddy revolution. Zap Daddy came in there, bing, 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 bing.
I'll give you this. Outside of the humor factor of watching him get crushed, it would have been great for the Patriots to keep a veteran backup to continue to get crushed behind Brissett, so they were not thrust in this position to play Drake May. So there you go. Congratulations to Patrick, who was at the Mac ankle game.
I said cool.
I was at the Mac. Games with names. The Mac ankle
game, baby.
Games with names. The Mac ankle game. Yeah, you may shoot Jules a message there, Patrick. See if you can get on his podcast. Yeah. All right. Again, long with this, but real quickly, the bigger picture going into this Miami game clearly is the locker room and losing it, which we have talked about ad nauseum. But on the field, I asked the question: can they self-scout? Can they do what we've talked about? Can they come to the table? Can Mayo and Van Pelt come to the table and go, look, no more 7-step drops. Your play action passes are garbage. Your fucking system doesn't work because we don't have the personnel to run it. Can you put these guys in shotgun, run 3-step drops, let Demario Douglas run a slant and get away from people and throw the ball within 2.1 seconds? Can they do that? Will they do that? We've talked about the May system. That's what they're going to have to run if he plays. Is Van Pelt capable of it at all? Can we expect anything?
No.
Damn it.
They're going to run the same ass shit. We're literally going to be the only 3 people watching that game.
I feel bad for the people that have to actually travel to Gillette and watch that shitbag game in person.
Literally, that's going to be one of the lowest rated games in NFL history.
Maybe that'll give crap a boot in the ass when he sees empty seats in the stadium and be like,
I am going to go with the devil's advocate here because most of me, 75% of me says you're right, but there's been so much fucking noise out of Foxborough. There's been so much noise. To avoid that and completely dismiss it with your game plan on the field is a self-suicide mission as an NFL coach. And if Alex Van Pelt just lacks the ability to move away from, then fine, then you're going to get yourself fired anyway. But if it's by choice, then they deserve everything they got. So I am going to give them a 25% chance that they look a little different, just a little different out there, that they get the ball out a little bit quicker. 25% chance.
So what happens if your 25% chance is wrong?
Then Alex Van Pelt will be fired by week 8, and Drake May will be in the ball game. Will they play in week 6?
Yep.
Week 6 or week 7. They don't have a bye week till week 14, so May is coming in at some point.
Well, here we go. Here's a better question.
It might be the Jag. No, the Jag. No.
What happens first? Alex Van Pelt gets fired, or Drake May starts?
Drake May starts would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
The firing of Van Pelt is an admission of guilt from.
That's tough to fire him in season. That's real tough to fire an offensive coordinator in season.
That would be the right move and the ballsy move, which is why it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
There you go. Not a lot of positivity there from the Patriots talk. So let's throw it over to headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. And what could be the worst football game of the season?
Oh, you're doing a lie.
I didn't want your fucking spiteful little cunt ass fucking saying shit to me. The Dolphins travel north to take on New England Patriots. How many beers will it take to get through this game? Should I order wings? What flavor? These are the more important questions going into Sunday's game. Patriots are favored by 1, and the over-under is at 36.5. Pour one out for Billy Baseball as his Atlanta Braves have been eliminated by the San Diego Padres. Padres now take on the LA Dodgers in the LDS. The Detroit Tigers eliminated the Houston Astros. The Tigers will play Cleveland Guardians in the ALDS. The Royals eliminated the Baltimore Orioles. Royals now take on the Yankees in the ALDS. In the last wildcard game, the Mets and Milwaukee Brewers. And winner of that game takes on the Phillies. Score now 0-0. Bruins open up the 2024 season Tuesday night without goalie Jeremy Swayman in Florida against the Panthers. And finally, the Celtics begin the preseason Friday night in Dubai to take on the Denver Nuggets. This has been Headlines live, not recorded, with the obvious one. Fuck you, Richard.
I liked it recorded better.
Why?
No, I just thought it would piss you off.
No.
It didn't, so whatever.
The recorded version sucks. That live was great, Ray. We just need an outro video that you could pop on there. I don't like.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it without asking.
I've been asking you to do that for. I don't know.
You're too conservative. You're just like Brissett. God damn it.
Wait, yeah, you are the Jacoby Brissett of this program. Speaking of too conservative, we are overtime. So let's speed this baby up. Chief Bobby, 10 questions around the NFL and beyond. Please go.
Okay, the Chargers lose again. You back on board with my Jim Harbaugh assessment?
No, I think Jim Harbaugh is a good coach in the NFL and is a baseline coach in the NFL. Will he win a Super Bowl? Maybe not. But you were wrong. The under of the Chargers is a wrong bet. They will be an okay team.
You're both dumb. Jets in the playoffs, yes or no?
No.
Nope.
Unless they get Devontae Adams, then I'll change my pick. But as of right now, no.
The Jets should absolutely. This is not a question, right? The Jets should absolutely trade for Devontae Adams.
They should trade for him immediately.
They should trade for him right now. Second round pick, boom, done. And
Devontae Adams is such a pussy. I only play for quarterbacks I played with before. Trade me.
I mean, he's 32.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's I don't blame him.
He's
not talk like
California,
this.
He's from upstate California. I don't think he talks like that.
He doesn't talk like
I
that.
know. That's how he talks in my head. Rashi Rife tore his ACL. Chiefs still your favorite?
Nope. It's starting to unfold, and I love it.
Who's your favorite?
Anyone but the Chiefs.
Okay, next week we'll do Dr. Big Mac's power rankings instead of this.
Yeah,
10
let's see
questions.
that.
We'll get an idea of who he likes. Chiefs are still the favorites. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Until they're uncrowned, they are the favorites.
You have been reading my fucking blog, haven't you? You've been reading my power rankings.
What's
So that's
going to happen is they're probably going to trade for like Tyreek Hill back. Be like, all right, come on back, Tyreek.
I was thinking that too when Tyreek posted that the other.
Can't afford him. Mark Cooper's going to the Kansas City Chiefs though.
What do the Vikings do if Sam Darnold plays like this all year? What do they do with JJ?
Keep him on the bench.
Clipboard? Yeah, hold a clipboard, bitch.
Just resign Sam Darnold. Keep playing him. That's what I would do.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you?
Of course.
You do not throw away good quarterback play in the NFL. You have no idea if JJ can play. If you got a guy that can play, go for it. And if he's an asset, trade him. There's zero question on that.
Here's a question. Wife vigorously blows a home invader to distract him and save the children. Where do you go from there?
Do you start being
honestly, in this scenario, really, what do you do? How do you move forward there?
It's too open-ended. I mean, what does this home invader look like? Was it totally necessary? Could I have taken them? Could I have blown them? Where does?
He's wearing a black shirt and a Patriots hat, and maybe has headphones on right now.
My initial reaction is to remove the weakest fucking organ from their body, but that's already been done.
Gone. It's already gone. What would you say? It's gone. Hypothetically, it's gone already.
Yeah, no, you know what? As a matter of fact, this wouldn't be a big deal for me. I would just continue my fucking drinking purge into depression and like move on.
Mm-hmm.
At least we're safe. We're all good.
Yeah, everybody's safe here. All right. Yep. Come on, children.
Yeah, every time it comes up, I'll just drink a 6-pack. I'll forget it and be happy. Listen to Oasis.
You just push that down with everything else.
I said, maybe.
How many special people change?
Commanders 3-1, in or out?
In.
Daniels is a real deal.
I'm out. I'm out. You get out. Quinn.
Well, how far in? How far in do you have to go? Like Irene level in or home invasion in?
Home invasion in.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm home invasion in. Yeah. Irene in. You'd have to talk me into that.
That's like a Super Bowl, like, right? Is that what we're talking about? My mother's a Super Bowl?
Yeah, you got consequences from that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm going with the home invader.
Yeah, Kingsbury and Dan Quinn are going to fuck that up.
Oh,
they might, but the talent generally wins out in that league. So they'll be in the playoffs. They'll be fighting to win that division. I'll take that all fucking day long. You kidding me?
Yeah, fine. From there, yeah. Does Cap make the Knicks better or worse?
Worse.
Better regular season team. Their playoff chances have been shot right in the dick.
They're better. They're better. They will win another series. They would have beat the Pacers last year. They would have been in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're better. Cat's a better player than Julius Randle. They're still not better than the Celtics. They've made improvements.
Mental midgetry.
He was fine. He was okay in the playoffs last year. People just he is he has got
I don't trust him. Jimmy Butler hated him. I trust Jimmy Butler.
That's Michael Jordan's son.
They're better. They're still not, but they're not better than the Celtics.
Fine. Knowledge check. Quick plumbing question. Raymond, what is a water hammer?
Water hammer is when you have a lot of pressure going into the pipes, and basically it makes a.
This is too easy. This is too easy. This is too easy.
Like a motion where it just okay.
He's such a good fucking plumber. He's so good.
He's a good plumber, but the mother jokes from that whole conversation were just the layups were.
Water hammer is when I throw it in Rich's mother's ass.
There you go. Yeah. See, exactly. You know.
Fine. I'll get an advanced plumbing question next. Should the Dolphins trade Tyreek Hill and just tank it?
Yep.
No. They should. They should fire their fucking coach, bite the bullet, and
Baby Billy ain't going anywhere, baby. Baby Billy's staying around.
Their coach is a hack. Tyreek Hill's the best thing that organization has had since Dan Marino. They should either get a real quarterback. They should trade for Russell Wilson, or if Flacco now is playing. They should have had a backup quarterback there in the first place. Get a quarterback that can run that system. That's all they need.
They're not even trying.
I mean, they won't win because they can't win. That coach is a fraud, but don't give up.
He's a fraud. Gino, is he a top 10 quarterback? Write me out.
Rich?
I would rather watch my wife deep throat a home invader than admit to Geno Smith.
You've been very pro your wife blowing a home invader. I do have to say, you're very pro this, which
It
makes
was in the Maryland area.
Yeah.
have
I live in
dabbled
Maryland, Bobby. I'm
voyeurism.
progressive. All right, just fucking let
think-
people live and let
Are
live.
you guys swingers? Are you swingers?
Live and let live. I've been approached by two different sets of swingers with my wife out in public.
Were they both gay couples?
So the answer is yes. Very nice. Cool.
It was
How
actually
did that go?
it was a humbling, weird experience. Both
Did you
times.
take your hat off and then go, oh, never mind, we're out?
Yeah, I was like, give me a couple months, fucker.
It's gonna work. I swear to God.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
That's why he needs the hair plugs to impress the swinger
That's
guy.
what it is. There it
Yeah.
is.
We couldn't close
Bingo.
the deal.
Bingo.
Geno top 10. I'm sure we could find 10 quarterbacks better than Geno Smith.
I think it's the unfortunate truth that he's like at 9 or 10.
he is playing very well.
Yeah.
Patrick has a good one. Mike McDaniels is Ryan from The Office. That's a very good comparison. I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad, especially when he got all fucked up on drugs. Maybe that's what he's referring to. But
Yep.
Or he's a sniveling little weasel douchebag.
Probably both.
Whatever. I called, by the way, Ray, when you back me up in this toot. I called that the second they hired that fucking nerd that he was a fraud. The second they hired him.
I agree.
I've been calling Miami frauds forever because that's what they are.
You did.
Until that ownership changes, that's what they will be. And just pray to God that Tom Brady did not shield us from frauds of ownership of
these
the crap.
NFL franchises, they just swung to the complete opposite side of Brian Flores, just like the Patriots swung to the complete opposite side of Bill Belichick.
Ooh.
They just went with the opposite of the previous guy.
Yeah, but elite, yeah. Anyway, not to get into the weeds of that.
Mm.
Next,
2 Monday Night Football games. You like it or no?
Love it.
I think it's fucking stupid.
I love it.
I only say yes because the YouTube TV gives you the split screen, which I use on Monday.
Yes, that's beautiful, isn't it?
I did do that, and if you can do it that way, I'm game. As a traditionalist, I would say 1, but I would move all games to Sunday and have 1 game on Monday.
Exactly. All football games should be played between the hours of Sunday at 1, 4, and 8 p.m. in a singular Monday Night Football game.
That's actually my final answer as well.
I like it because I have the YouTube TV app as well. I love it. You can split it, watch both. Saturdays are awesome. You can watch like 4 games at once. Love it.
Yeah. Split your mother's ass, isn't it? Quick break, and we'll be right back with Swayman is a dink, and the Red Sox are full of shit.
Here we are, back to the show. The number 2 least favorite group of immigrants to Hans Kemp.
Native Americans.
Whoa! Whoa! He set us up all nice guys. Sri Lankan, not going to be that big of a deal. Small island. Now you go straight to the native people of our very own land.
Bold.
Why?
Bold.
What is it about the Native Americans that you don't like?
They're poor and dirty.
Yep. That's still the best part of our show.
I forgot about it, that it came up, and I liked it.
Yeah, it keeps coming up. I can't wait to get sued for that. Swayman is a dink, and the Red Sox are full of shit. Bobby, let us know what's going on Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football, if you would. Let's kick it off with the Swayman talk, please. Raymond, the Cam Neely clip.
Well, I don't want to get into the weeds with what his ask is, but I know that I have 64 million reasons why I'd be playing right now.
Shot from Neely there.
Shots fired.
This has been covered ad nauseum this week. The contract dispute between Jeremy Swayman and the Boston Bruins. Cam Neely comes out and says they've offered him 8-8, $64 million contract.
He never said that. Never said that. He just said 64 million. All he said was 64 million.
Well, okay, hold on. Civil Mind Sports Show, welcome. This is why I am exhausted all the time. The maxed length of contract that you can get in the NHL is 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you divide 64 by 8,
get you 7.8.
No, it doesn't, you fucking idiot. God damn it. God damn it. 8 times 8, 64. What the 7.8 comes from the agent who came out with a bitchy little do I have it?
Louis Gross.
Louis Gross came out with
cool segment so far, guys.
Did I play it down here? Louis Gross came out with a bitchy little statement about the Bruins not
so
actually.
Pretty much, he basically said that's the first time he's ever heard of that 64.
Thank you. That's where I was going with that.
Yep.
So look, as you put here, right? Luce Gross was also the agent for Torrey Krug. As you typed Kurg, Torrey Krug.
Right.
Yep. That jettisoned Torrey Krug out of Boston, who signed with St. Louis for $7 million 7-year deal. You say he's trying to take the baseball approach with his clients, but it's a hard salary cap. I just think he's a fucking dick and he's an idiot. And they've overswung their negotiation point of view, and they're not backing down. And that is on the agent. The agent's a little bit of a dick. But come to find out, Jerry Swayman is a whiny little tool bag. If you have that clip, Raymond.
Well, before you go there, his other client, William Nylander, who was the longest holdout in NHL history, he finally signed an 8-year, $92 million, 11.5 AAV. So, yeah, this is like the holdout. It's going to happen. He's going to be held out until December 1st or before he gets traded. But, yeah, I have a Swayman clip. Unless you want to talk.
No, well, let me just give you my opinion before this Swayman clip, although the Swayman clip did sway me to have this opinion. I'm so fucking Team Bruins here. It's not even funny. When the first negotiation was reported that the Bruins offered 4 years at $6.2 million per, I crushed Sweeney for that because I think lowball negotiating is stupid. Just come with whatever you think your best offer is, and if there's some negotiating within the margins, fine. That's how you do things fairly, and that's how you gain trust. If you lowball, highball, I think it's dumb. Yeah. I don't subscribe to that type of negotiation. So I crushed him for that. However, they've come from 6.2 to now 7.88, and Swayman claims here in this clip that essentially they want to set the market, and depending on what report you believe or read, they are either at 9.5 or close to 10 or 8.5, which is not as believable. So they've moved way less than the Bruins have moved, and the Bruins fucking have made right by their players for 20 years. So I'm out on Swayman because of that and because of this clip.
Oh, the clip. Yep, here you go.
You're in a big point in your career with a big contract negotiation going on right now. No one else really knows what this is like. Your first, presumably, longer contract. What is that like from an athlete's perspective?
If you were to ask me that same question a year ago, I would answer it truthfully, and I would say it's scary. It's a lot of resentment towards people that want you to succeed, and when you're not getting compensated for your endless efforts and doing what you do best, it's a nerve-wracking feeling because it's your family you're fighting for. And the answer I'm going to give you this year is that I've educated myself and that I understand the business side of it all. And it's given me a complete new mindset of understanding the business and how to react to it. I understand the cap is going up and where it will be in years. I understand my comparables and how I can't ruin the goalie market for other guys that are going to be in my shoes down the line.
It's nothing I didn't even think of that.
I went to the School of Business for the University of Maine, so I love the business side of it all. And I studied it, and I love it. I'm doing classes still in Stanford, part of the NHLPA program on business. I know that these experiences I'm doing now are going to help me post-career when I want to be a businessman, when I want to talk about serious stuff, away from
We'll give
hockey.
you a job at sideline.
I'm in.
Yeah, 100%.
That's special. So
School of Business at
I'm a
UMaine.
businessman, baby. I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman.
I do business, man. The School of Business at UMaine. He knows what the fuck is up.
Sure, there's a lot of noble.
There's
people
nothing
that
worse
come out of
than the
business
phrase
school.
"I've educated myself." Whenever I hear that, the next thing I think of is this guy's a fucking asshole.
He looks like an asshole. He sounds like an asshole. He sounds like an absolute tool.
Yeah,
This is Kyrie-esque. This is evolving into the Kyrie territory where you were just a self-indulgent fucking sound bag of milk. Fucking
Dildo.
shut up, Swayman. Shut up. By the way, he's a restricted free agent. He has 2 years left until he's an unrestricted free agent. He wants to get paid like a top 3 goalie in the league or the top
Plus, he
goalie in
looks
the
like
league.
a little twerp.
With 2 years left until you have any fucking power over your own. Shut up. Shut up. Sign the deal or go away. Trade him. Trade him. Trade him. You got $7.08 million in salary cap. Your top 6 is lacking wingers. Trade this guy, bring in some talent, and let Hot Boosie down there take over the goalie spot. They've had good goalies in the system for 30
If you're such
years.
a good businessman, take that money and make more money. Take your money to make more.
Thank you, Bobby. Speaking of good businessmen, a quick a throwback here, Raymond. Thank you for this. I forgot all about the fact that we used to call the baseball segment Zero Dark 30 because it was so goddamn boring, and Bill wanted to talk
Bill
about
used
baseball.
to get fucking hard on it all the time.
Would just really get in the weeds on the baseball talk. But the only time we generally talk about the Red Sox is when the season is over, and wouldn't you know it, the season's over. MLB playoffs are going, and Bobby, I know you don't watch baseball, but they've been exciting. I love the fucking 5-game opening series. Orioles got swept at home. Tigers are the surprise team. There's always a surprise team. Tigers and Royals made it to the playoffs with 86 wins, something the Red Sox failed to do. The Red Sox and their $212 million payroll failed to get 86 wins and beat out the Kansas City Royals and Detroit Tigers to get into the playoffs. However, Sam Kennedy comes out flapping his fucking gums, telling us the same shit we've heard for 5 years. Go
I can
ahead,
assure you that the feeling is that our fans have been through a lot. They've been patient, and it's time to get back where we belong. We thought we had a good shot at getting there this year, but it's time to get back and go for that division title, play baseball in the postseason. That's why we're here. That's literally why the three of us are here. There's nothing like October baseball, and that's our responsibility and our obligation to the best fans in baseball. We fell short of that this year, but we're going to work tirelessly to get us back where we belong in the American League East. That's our commitment, to do everything we can. And talk is cheap right now. Words are hollow, but that's what we're gonna work on this offseason.
Shut up, Sam. Go ahead, Brandon.
Just that's bullshit. I think it's just bullshit. I think that, why are they going to start caring now? They're no matter what they sell at Fenway. Fenway's a tourist trap. So all I have to ask is, will they do it, Rich? You're the baseball guy now that Bill's gone. Will they actually go out and open up their checkbook and start spending money to be a competitive team again?
I think that they have an internal budget that is not the MLB tax line. They're something like 12th or 14th in payroll right now, which is probably where they want to live. I think they say teams like the Detroit Tigers and the Royals make it to the playoffs as the 26th and 22nd in payroll and say, we can do that too. However, unfortunately for John Henry, when you look at revenue, they're at the top, and baseball is not like these other sports. The revenue is different from top to bottom in the league. So you've got the Dodgers, the Yankees, and these top high payrolling teams that are also in the playoffs, Padres,
Phillies.
So you've always had multiple ways to make the playoffs in MLB, but generally the team that actually wins is the team that spends. So the difference maker for this team will be, do you spend? The real difference maker for this team is, does Craig Breslow have a clue of what he's doing? Because they are not going to go back to the Pablo Sandoval, Hanley Ramirez days of Dave Dombrowski and the Red Sox. They're not going to make those big contracts. But can they trade for a Garrett Crochet from Chicago White Sox? Are they willing to part with one of their top prospects? Can they trade one of these guys or several of these guys out of their system to bring back high-end pitching, which is what they're so depleted of? Will they spend any type of money on a guy like Jack Flaherty or Corbin Burns? Well, Soto will probably go back to the Yankees. Who knows? He's going to be the highest bidder. I would not expect the Red Sox in on that, especially because of their depth in the outfield. but he's the biggest name in free agency. In years past, sure, the Red Sox would have been top of the rumor mill for a guy like Juan Soto, but those days are past. So expectations are different. They are not that far away from making the playoffs. 86 wins. That's all you need. This Red Sox team needs front end pitching, and that should be their focus. They should spend on a guy like Jack Flaherty, and they should move some of their top prospects for a guy like Garrett Crochet. And if they do that, then fine. Okay. It's still going to be a wait and see game. It's still going to be at least a year of them investing in this team for me to say, fine, I'll come back and I'll give you guys.
Carrabis said that basically, like, no matter what, 2026 would be the year that you actually see like them going out and like the money that they spent in 2025 paying off.
That's wrong. I mean, that's a wrong approach. It's a stupid goddamn approach. That's a nerd thinking that they can predict the future and what human beings will do. If that's their plan, it's wrong and it will fail.
That's baseball now. Nerds are taking over baseball.
Not if you're the Dodgers, and not if you're the Yankees, and not if you're the Royals, who spent $100 million to put talent around the best player in baseball. What the fuck's his name?
Bobby Witt.
What?
Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt. Thank you. They went out and spent $100 million. Kansas City Royals this year. So, and they're in the playoffs.
Should be a race car driver. Bobby Witt Jr.
Here's the number one thing I'd like to see from the Red Sox. Just trade Tristan Casas, and I'll be happy. If I don't have to deal with that whiny little bitch Mac Jones in a baseball uniform, then that'll make me feel good.
Thought you were going to actually use the F word.
No, not going to go there. So there you go. There's a little baseball segment for you, Bobby. We're back with top 5. Top 5 threats to the Celtics. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up my blog from the Silver Mind Sports Show. If you're not following that, please do. We talked about this in the opening segment. Something named Bobby Marks from ESPN was all hot and bothered by the Knicks trading for Karl Anthony Towns, claiming that they have these top 5 starting lineup in the NBA. Let's start with that, Raymond.
Okay. Please hold. There you go.
I would even go on record right now and saying that this New York team, their starting 5, is the best starting 5 in the NBA on paper. Now they certainly have to go out and they have to go out and play, right? We start training camp right now, and when you look at certainly Karl at the 5 and then OG at the 4, and Anunoby, health is going to play a big role. My only concern, Perk, is their depth. And I know losing Dante DiVincenzo hurts as far as who comes off the bench for this New York team, but that starting 5, including the Boston Celtics, is as good as any starting 5 in the NBA right now.
Never trusted Bobby. That's my key. Success for life. Never trusted Bobby.
Here's the Knicks starting 5. Jalen Brunson at the point guard, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. You matched up against the Celtics. Jalen Brunson going up against Drew Holiday, Mikal Bridges, Derek White, OG Anunoby, Jaylen Brown, Josh Hart, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns, Kristaps Porzingis. And I'm looking at playoff lineups here. Who's the best? Who's the better starting lineup there?
The Celtics sweep that series right there.
Bobby?
The Celtics have a better starting 5.
Undeniably. In talent, but also the way that they play. The Knicks run a ball-dominant offense through Jalen Brunson. We'll see how that looks. Karl Anthony Towns is the best three-point shooting center in the history of the NBA. So that's cool. That's great. Mikal Bridges is a all-around good player, a defensive kind of specialist guy, 6'6", good size. He could give Tatum some fits, Jaylen Brown. But can you guard both of them? Can you guard all of them? If Porzingis is healthy, that's a mismatch all day long. The Celtics are fucking loaded. It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement.
It's the bench too. When you go to the bench,
there's a lot of problems with the Knicks. There's a lot. I mean, when your best player is an undersized guard, that's a problem. Karl Anthony Towns is a known mental midget, hated by Jimmy Butler. So obviously there's that. And just in general, they have to gel too. The Celtics, their core has had a lot of time to get to know one another and play. And this is a new team for the Knicks, so they have to gel.
Yeah, you have to worry about the bench for the Knicks, and you have to worry about Tom Thibodeau, who's never moved past any level of significance.
He's a great coach. He's a great regular season coach, but when it comes to the playoffs, he just folds under pressure.
Doesn't quite have it. Maybe could be said that maybe didn't have the talent to do so. But all right, so do you put the Knicks at 1? You got the Knicks, 76ers. I'll give you the Bucks, and I'll give you the Pacers to debate, and then the back end of that, you got the Cavs, Magic, Heat. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but give me your top 5. Give me a rundown here. Where do you lay them out?
I go 76ers. I'd go 76ers as the top echelon right now.
You like skinny Embiid? He lost 25 pounds. Are you guys on the same gallbladderless diet?
Yep, and I think
he lost 25 pounds. You probably won't even notice with that.
No, you got Paul George going there too. I mean, that's going to be a big thing. Who's their point guard? Fucking Maxey.
Maxey.
Yeah, another year in that system. I mean, that's a pretty good big 3 that they have right there.
Can I give you the quote Embiid gave? So 76er Joel Embiid said he lost 25 to 30 pounds this offseason. He's entering his 11th NBA season in the 11th season in the NBA, which
11 years.
To have the first fully healthy playoff run of his career. To that, he said, quote, still got a ways to go. First, that statement alone, 11 years in the NBA has never had a fully healthy playoff run. That's not bad luck. You're a fucking loser. You're a dog. So good for him. He lost the weight. Maybe he's trying. Quote, I still got a ways to go. I still want to lose more. And this is the line that got me as a 76er. I still got a ways to go. I still got to lose more, but it's a process. 76ers still trusting the process.
Mm-hmm.
76ers for me aren't the top threat. I would put the Pacers and Cavs ahead of them. They played them better last year. And Paul George never plays. So I wouldn't even.
So you're talking about the Pacers that got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals as a threat to the
a bigger threat than the 76ers.
Okay.
I would be willing to agree with you. Look, the 76ers replaced from 3 years ago, James Harden, Danny Green, and Tobias Harris with Paul George, Caleb Barton, and Andrew Drummond. They're just running the same playbook back with a gallbladderless Joel Embiid.
Wait till I have my bracelet made.
The Knicks are the number 1 threat, and from there, I think it's a crapshoot. Lillard and Giannis, they aren't friends. They didn't work out a single second in the offseason.
Wasn't there reports that Lillard didn't want to stay there? Like he wants out.
He didn't want to go there.
Yeah,
he never
wanted to go to Miami. No, he wanted to go to Miami.
He wants nothing to do with the goddamn place. They didn't do anything in the offseason. The Bucks, and they got Doc Rivers as a head coach. The Pacers didn't do anything in the offseason either, Bobby. Though they're 22nd in defense last year. They added nothing. Halliburton's going to have to make a massive step forward as a all NBA player for them to be anything of significance. My point to the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, and then what? They didn't do anything to improve. Evan Mobley is a year older. Maybe he can do something, but not against the Celtics. Magic, not enough. And I'll give the Heat a sniff because Rozier, Hero, Butler, and Adebayo barely played together last year. That's a formidable lineup in the playoffs with a lot of experience in a Jimmy Butler and a Bam Adebayo that know how to win in the playoffs. But, the Celtics, they sacrificed that demon last year. The Knicks are the only team talent-wise that stand up, and you got question marks. It should be the Celtics in a runaway. Again.
Do you think anyone in the Western Conference will scare you? Like if they do go to the finals? Do you like what the Mavs did with Klay Thompson, bringing him over?
No, I think Klay Thompson will be in a walker by the end of the year.
Yeah, Klay's done. He is done.
Let's see what the Nuggets look like. Let's see how the Nuggets come back.
Yeah, Nuggets. Yeah.
Let's see how the Nuggets come back, and I don't know. I haven't taken a massive look at the West here as preseason is just kicking off. But
not to be a spoiler alert, but the Celtics are the overwhelming favorites here for the NBA season. There's not a lot there in front of them.
No, they should be. They should be the first team to repeat since the Warriors.
Yep.
Barring injury. We'll be talking a lot of Celtics, obviously, moving forward as the Patriots completely fall into fucking disarray. So that's enough. That's enough hoop talk for now. Let's close out the night with Simplest Minds of the Week right after this.
Oh, back to school. to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. It nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
All right, let's kick it off with Ball Pit Ninja Mom. If you're listening on the podcast, this is from a Asian country, and there are two moms in a legitimate kids ball pit just beating the shit out of each other.
I didn't know that you can. I didn't know that Japan or an Asian community had ball pits. Beautiful.
What was that fight over?
About Poo Poo Pie for two. She probably
was it another Asian wing wang?
Okay, that's yeah, we're going into that. I don't know. What I took out of that was there was some training being displayed. The sidekicks and the force behind those.
One of the ladies was in her face, so something happened with the lady that was in her face at the end when she had her in the chokehold. So I don't know.
It's probably over.
Fortune
cookie. All right, let's go to a man stuck in a 40-foot pipe. This one here. A man was rescued from the bottom of a narrow 40-foot pipe in Portland, Oregon. Said he has no clue how he got there. Stuck in there for 3 or 4 hours. Officials said Portland fire and rescue crews responded to a report of a person stuck in a hole after people in a nearby building heard a man screaming for help. When responders arrived at the scene, they heard a man yelling from the bottom foot of a 40-foot deep ventilation pipe from a nearby parking garage. The pipe was only about 1 foot wide. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the pipe. It's very small. The man looking at it could not fit his knees in it. God knows Ray's not getting down there. So what kind of thin man is this, and how did he get down there?
Bobby Vine. That's who it was.
Do we have a photo of this guy?
Nope. That's all we got.
No photo of the man.
Is this fake news? Was there even a man down there? We don't have any evidence.
Was this like that girl in the well? Was that Baby Jessica?
I would like to think that it was a young man and his friends got him drunk, and they thought for like weeks they're like, we could fit this fucking guy down this thing. And then they got him all drunked up, and they just whoop. Instead of like, oh shit, we didn't know it was that deep. That was like 3 feet deep.
Something happened with your cousin. Money told you, Rich.
Fantasy football. We don't talk fantasy football.
We don't talk, you fucking loser, Pat. You fucking loser. Patrick, you're a fucking loser.
Patrick. We don't talk fantasy football on the show. We do talk Rashee Rice. This is actually a nice segue. Rashee Rice and his mama. You got a clip?
I fucking love that.
What can you explain it, Raymond?
So basically, wherever they live, it's like an apartment complex or a condo complex, whatever it is. And she was walking through, saw a package delivered. I believe it was a record of some sort that was delivered, and she stole it from her neighbor on Ring camera.
Oh.
She's a stoop thief. What I like is
they call it porch pirates. Porch
pirates. Thank you. The look behind over the shoulder, like, oh shit.
Shit, I see that. I got my drink in my hand. Let me go.
Is that a fucking package there? I know there is not a package there. I didn't need that package.
I want to take a look at that right there.
This mama is a fucking package.
The mama. Go ahead.
Would you rather blow your ACL out or have your mom be a porch pirate?
Well, both happen to Rashee Rice.
Much worse.
Oh, really? Thank you, Rich. That's part of the fucking question, you goddamn idiot.
I don't understand.
I'm sorry.
This is such an asshole.
He's also pending a pretty serious.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
Case in Texas of manslaughter or whatever else. So things are not looking up for the Rice family. But very funny clip just watching her eyeball that thing and fucking take it.
Yep.
sipping on Grandpa's old cough medicine there. All right, we're gonna close the show out with a long clip. Nothing needs to be said basically after this. Just watch it all the way through. Starts out a little bit slow, really ramps up. Fucking everybody should see this in the world. If you haven't,
I want to compete. I think we should all compete. I think we should go down there and compete.
As long as I can immediately leave that place, I'll go.
Oh, of course.
Other than that, I'm never going to this fucking place ever again. I just think the borders are going to be off limits for me. This place blows. But you know what? They have fun.
It should be severed from the continental United States.
Just Bugs Bunny style. Cut it off. Here you go.
The Florida Man Games. NBC News correspondent Sam Brock was there for the competition that just keeps on giving.
Surrounding a large field in St. Augustine, Florida, people wait to pile in by the hundreds. Fight! Anticipation growing. For the first Florida Man competition that's one part gladiators, one part cops.
Make it out of the back first. Oh, he's running.
One part mullet mania. Now you might be asking, what is a Florida Man and why are we celebrating him?
Well, everybody talks about all the weirdness and the strangeness, but the reality is it's just people being themselves.
Kind of living a little bit beyond the boundaries of the law.
It's like Redneck Olympics, Florida edition.
Expect the unexpected.
I'm sorry, you brought an iguana?
He's the mascot. He's in a
You brought a
stroller.
mascot that's an iguana?
Yes.
Or superficially hairy men.
I love it for Florida Man games.
Even jorts galore and people dressed up as gorillas. But that doesn't explain why this mosaic of misfits find themselves competing. So we asked Pete Melfi, the radio host and podcaster who founded the inaugural event.
Nobody's ever done a Florida Man festival before. So I thought, let's do something where people can enjoy themselves, laugh, live the day in the life of a Florida Man, and, not go to jail for it.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. Yeah. But hey, how great would that be if there was a headline that said, Florida Man arrested at the Florida Man Games?
That's where he lives.
A beautiful segment from them. Unless you have a comment, I don't have any. I think the video speaks for itself.
Yep, sure does.
Fantastic journalism done there by those folks.
At least some weirdos would live in St. Augustine, Florida. That's all.
Yep.
Bunch of weirdos in St. Augustine. This has been the Simon Sports Show. Friday Rewind, October 4th, live here Thursday night, October 3rd. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.